Hey, what is up, guys? It is Card Shuffler 99 here, and today we are going to be piecing together the sacred Riana's semi-final trick that she performed on Asia's Got Talent not too long ago. If you guys haven't seen our first reveal, which was for her audition trick, where she used the key and the cards and the camera, basically, we will put a pop-up to that reveal right now, and we'll have a link in the description for that. So be sure to check that out, okay, guys? Also, we are going to be doing a little, because we're posting this on Thanksgiving, we're going to do a $30 Amazon gift card giveaway just for Thanksgiving, and we're going to announce the winners on December 1st. So if you guys want to enter that, all you have to do is like this video and comment something in the comment section below, okay? And anything like that, and make sure you are subscribed to our channel as well. And that's going to be, we're giving away 3 $10 Amazon gift cards, okay? So we're going to have 3 winners just for a little Thanksgiving giveaway, okay, guys? All right, anyway, let's get straight into the reveal. So basically what she did here was a little chalkboard, dollhouse sort of performance here. And there are a couple ways she could have done this. Obviously, there is going to be a more plausible method versus a more, I guess, fake method. Just something that we're going to talk about both, obviously, just because you guys can go ahead and pick which one's, you know, a little bit better, but obviously we'll get into that very soon. So what we're going to talk about here today is 2 methods. So we're going to talk about method 1, and that's going to be the more plausible method, okay? And this is going to involve sort of the, here, so I'll show you guys a box really quick. So I'm going to sort of give you guys a little demo of how this is going to work. So let's say that this is the sacred Riana's, her box, okay? Let's just say this was her box here. So essentially what's happening here is in this method, because we have this sort of lady inside the box appearing at some point, she had to have been in that box the entire time. Okay, obviously because she's popping out, you can see under the, you can see under the box, you can see sort of around it and everything, and it looks like there's no way that she can actually get into the box. So how does she actually get into the box? Well, the secret is she's already in the box. And how is this going to work? So you'll notice, and there's a couple of spots in the actual trick that I want you to look at. So look at the part where she's actually jumping out of the box, okay? And this is something very important. And also look at this, the part of the video where she's actually reaching and putting that chalkboard in. When she does this, you can see that there's actually sort of, not like a barrier, but there's sort of a barrier in a sense that's sort of blocking part of the box, meaning that let's say this was the box here and this was the opening facing everybody, right? There was essentially a blocking piece of paper or cardboard, whatever it could be, just a black piece of paper that's blocking basically the majority of the box. You'll notice when she's actually putting her hand into the box to put the chalkboard in, there's not a lot of space behind where her hand's going. In fact, only like a quarter to a half of her arm is actually getting inside the box, and it looks like there's literally a wall right behind it. Now, this is where we're going to get into something known as the black principle, okay? So this is called the black principle, and what this is basically if you put black on black, it's going to sort of camouflage itself, I guess you could say. So you'll notice that the assistant or the lady that's coming out of the actual box is wearing black, and obviously the inside the box is black. So obviously if she's in that box, it sort of camouflages so you can't actually see. So some people might theorize that obviously you're having like that the black covering is actually just her dress, but obviously I would say that there is just a general covering inside that box and she's just behind it. And you'll notice that when she actually jumps out of the box, from the position that she's actually standing in, you can notice the wooden frame that goes behind her is actually extending far beyond where she's actually standing, meaning the box is a lot larger than it might appear to be. Obviously, people are sitting in the front of, right behind the judges, and the judges are standing, right in front of the stage, and obviously they can only see the front of the box. There's no way you can tell how deep the actual box might be, okay? So what does this actually mean? Well, obviously because she's actually inside the box all the time, all she has to do to reveal herself is obviously push down that covering. But what does that have to do essentially with the rest of the trick? Well, what we have here is a whiteboard, and we're going to use this just to demonstrate the chalkboard. So essentially what's happening here, she takes her chalkboard And the first part of the trick is where she takes a bell, right? She has a bell, and she's basically ringing the bell, and she's like putting it into the box. She closes the door, and then the bell starts ringing. Okay, I don't even know what to say about this, to be quite honest, because it's just a bell ringing. You could literally have someone backstage ringing a bell into a microphone, and everybody would believe that the bell was coming from that box. So that was not a very cool part of the trick, to be quite honest here. But she's going to take her chalkboard. She's going to write what? Play with me. So she writes play with me. Sorry, guys. We have kind of a dead marker here. But she's going to write play with me, okay? And this is important to note because there are something, and I guess I'll talk about this in method 2, but there are stuff called self-writing chalkboards. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. But in this more plausible method, we're not going to be talking about self-writing chalkboards because all the lady would have to do, so here we go. I'll just write this play with me, okay? Okay, so sorry about the handwriting there, but let's say she's writing play with me. All the lady has to do, if she's in the actual box, is literally replace this whiteboard, chalkboard. That's all she has to do. So, essentially all that's happening is this lady is just taking her chalkboard, she's opening up her little latch in the box. So once again, she's in the back half of the box, okay? So, let's say we have a box here. She's in the back half of the box right here, okay? So she's right there in the back half of the box. This is her little covering here, and here is where the chalkboard is, okay? So that's the chalkboard. This is where she is, okay? All she has to do is basically take this little covering off, and obviously if the covering is literally her dress, then nobody would have to question anything. But obviously I would say that this is going to be sort of like a piece of paper, just a black piece of paper, black on black. It looks normal. And nobody can tell the depth because people are so far away. It's just black. So people automatically assume that it's a deep box. But obviously her hand is only going in so far. So once again, she's right here. You got like the wooden frame around it, right? Bam. All she has to do, this lady, she's going to take the covering off. Obviously, there could just be a little like pocket right here where she can just slip her hand. She's going to replace this out, and she's going to put a different chalkboard in. That's literally all she has to do. Now, obviously, if this is going to be happening, then she could have easily just slipped her hand through if there was like a little trap door in this little piece of paper. So let's say there's a trap door right here. She could put her hand through. She could have literally rang the bell if she wanted to. Obviously, I don't know if that's the smartest decision because anybody could have been ringing that bell. It might not have been that specific one. But once again, she's not taking the whiteboard and rewriting the whole thing and erasing it. That's not essentially what's happening. Essentially what's happening is she's just replacing the chalkboard because it's quicker and more efficient, okay? So that's really it. She's going to replace the chalkboard. She takes the chalkboard out, and at that point, it's really just setup. And there's a lot of time buying at this point where she's got to really set up her part of the trick, right? So the lady who's in the back right here, she's going to be pushing this little piece of paper out of the way. And once that piece of paper is gone, and once again, if it is a piece of paper, she can literally crumble the piece of paper up and shove it in her pocket or anything like that, okay? So that is really it at that point. And at that point, she just has to jump out of the box, and that's really the entire trick. Yeah, but that's essentially it. Now, once again, I will talk really briefly about that self-writing chalkboard, okay? So, in previous tricks, I know Piff the Magic Dragon used it. I know a bunch of people use the self-writing chalkboard. And what this self-writing chalkboard basically is, it's an electronic chalkboard. And there's a lot of people use it. There's a bigger scale electric chalkboard known as the, I forgot the actual name. I know Dan White uses it. It's just this large scale chalkboard. And basically, a lot of people, I know Izzy Simpson used it as well. And essentially, it's just a self-writing chalkboard. And it'll literally erase what you wrote. And it'll basically just write something new down. So this could be, performed with such, for example, if you had like a phone, you could write what you want and it would translate to the chalkboard. Now, the reason I don't think this is actually the method she used is personally because she actually did write with chalk on the chalkboard. So that proves to me that it can't actually be electronic because it actually is a chalkboard, right? So if it actually is a chalkboard, the only explanation is that because, in the sense, because the lady's in the box, we already know she's in the box, right? If she pops out of the box, we know she's in there somewhere. She's just hiding. You can see that she's in the back half of the box. So once again, that's just the recap right there. She's just in the back half of the box. All she has to do from there is just replace the chalkboard, because it is a real chalkboard, I believe. I don't think it's electronic. So she just has to replace the chalkboard, put a new one in, and then essentially jump out of the box, okay? But that is really the whole trick. We kind of gave you guys all the details, really the whole scoop on this trick. If you guys agree with us, please let us know down in the comment section below. Once again, don't forget about the giveaway. Just like, subscribe, and comment something in the comment section, and you will be entered. Anyway, guys, that is it for today. And this is Card Shuffler 99. Peace out, guys.